You ask me what I'm sipping on and what are my dreams.
Bonjour, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today I have an incredibly special cognac. It is a 140-year-old sample of Hardy Perfection. This is the oldest, most expensive cognac I've ever tasted. It ranges well over tens of thousands of dollars in price, and I am very privileged to be sampling it tonight. This was bestowed upon me by Jaz of Tonight's Poison. He has a cognac giveaway on his YouTube channel. Please check it out. I will leave the link below. 140 years is a very long time. It's an incredible feat on its own, but one of the reasons why this is so important is because it is a pre-phylloxera era cognac. So in the 1870s, phylloxera, a tiny insect, a beetle, wiped out the majority of all the grapevines in France. They were at that time using Colombard grapevines to make cognac and other wines. So during that time, they had to eradicate all of those vines, and they brought in vines from Spain known as Uni Blanc, which is predominantly used today in the Cognac region. Beautiful glow, beautiful color. Contrary to popular belief, the color does not dictate the age of a cognac. Consumers, even such as myself, believe that the darker the spirit, the longer it's been aged, and that simply is not true. One thing to note as well about this 140-year-old cognac is that it did not necessarily spend all of that time in a barrel. Barrel aging pretty much runs its lifespan after 50 years tops. Beyond that, it's hard to continue aging any kind of whiskey or cognac in a barrel. And after that period, at least by that period, they are taken into big bottles, they are stored, they are corked, they are waxed and kept for future expressions and future bottlings. One thing to keep in mind as well is that the barrels take what's known as angel share, which is the evaporation that takes place over the course of a year. So most barrels of whether it's whiskey or whether it's cognac will lose about 1 to 2% every year. So if you do the math, 140 years, there would be negative barrel left of cognac. So needless to say, it's impossible to age that long. After 50 years, if you continue to age, you probably won't have much cognac left or much whiskey, and if you did, it might not taste very good. So that's something to bear in mind as well. Without further ado, I'm going to give it a nose, give it a taste, let you guys know what I think. Very seductive, very perfumed nose. I'm getting star of anise. I'm getting a lot of floral notes. Again, a very perfumed, feminine nose. Rose petals, violets, a little bit of honeycomb. A hint of wood. A hint of vanilla. Absolutely phenomenal. Such a rush of floral notes. So delicate. It's a feminine, floral, perfumed flavor. Seductive flavor. A lot of flowers. A lot of rose water. A lot of violets. On the back end, after the rush of sweet floral aromas passes, I'm getting a little bit of star of anise. I'm getting honeycomb. I'd almost say a waxy honey coated palate and a hint of chocolate. And after that passes again, I'm getting the floral notes, kind of a dried potpourri finish, jasmine, and again lots and lots of rose petals, rose water. Very seductive, very perfumed, very elegant, and incredibly delicate on the palate. Quite an experience. I'm very privileged to have tasted this. Obviously can't recommend it enough. Without saying, I'm giving it a 100 out of 100. And if you can afford it, or if you happen to stumble your way across a sample or bottle of the Hardy Perfection, I certainly recommend giving it a try. Cheers.
I'm sipping Crystal X on cognac dreams. You taste